What if I told you that one of the central tenets of success is bullshit? It's not actually true. We perpetuate this idea that in order to be successful, you have to never quit. You must always push through. You must always keep going. What if that's not actually true? And actually, I can tell you from my own life and my own experience that some of the most pivotal moments that have gotten me to where I am today happened because I had to quit. It was a requirement in order to get to where I was trying to go. So today I want to dive into why and how we misunderstand quitting. And then I'm going to share a little bit of one particular story. And over the next few weeks, I'll dive into more and more depth and different stories of where I had to quit, how challenging it was, what the challenges were that led to that, how I knew that it was time to quit, and then what came out on the other side and the benefit that came from actually quitting. My name is Patrick Menefee, and I'm here to help you level up your money, your mindset, and your mission in order to help you become the best possible version of yourself. Now, these videos drop every single Monday, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when the next one comes out. And if you want more, we've got a newsletter that comes out every other week called the Menefee Monday Motivator. Click the link in the description and it'll come out to you every other week. Let's start with how we misunderstand this so badly. We are faced with a lot of decisions in our life, and the typical definition of never quitting, the way that we see this take place is once you make a decision, you continue on that decision and you never stop. Now, it doesn't really make a lot of sense when you think about it that way. Imagine you're driving to California. I live in North Carolina. Imagine you're driving to California from North Carolina and you get on the road, you get off on an exit to get gas or to get food or something like that. You have to turn around, right? You have to get off of that road. You have to quit driving down that road that you're going down if you're ever going to make it to California. But this definition that we typically have is, nope, I've made this decision. I've gone down this road. I've gone off on this exit. I cannot quit. I'm never going to quit. You're never going to get where you're trying to go. The real meaning behind never quit and how that helps people become successful, it means don't quit when it gets hard. It means don't quit because you get frustrated or because you have a bad day, week, month, year. Don't quit just because you're uncomfortable. If you are going towards a target that is important for you, if you're going towards your vision, don't quit. Don't quit on it. You can change paths. That's the important part. And that's what I had to do multiple times in my career and in my personal life. Now, a couple of years ago, I was in big time discovery mode. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I'd gotten very clear that flipping houses was not the path for me. And I'll talk about that version of quitting in another video. But I knew what I didn't want. I knew that I needed to experiment and try to figure out what I wanted to do. And so one of the things that I did along the way was I bought a business back in 2022. And I bought a lawn care company. I thought that this was going to be a path that I was going to go down for a while. So I get in there, I hire an old employee that was in my flipping business and start building things out. We start setting the vision for the company. And a little while into it, I realized this is not what I want. This is not where I'm supposed to go. I'd still been doing a lot of personal discovery along the way. And I started to realize that the work that I was doing in this business was not work that I actually truly cared about. Actually, it was work that really bothered me. I didn't enjoy having conversations with customers about their bushes or about how they were upset because their grass hadn't been cut, even though it had been raining all week. Those were conversations that I didn't enjoy having and I didn't ever want to have. As I was experiencing this, I also started to discover how much I cared about the one-on-one work that I was doing with people. I just started a few months before working with a client, kind of by accident. And I was helping him develop and grow in his life and in his business and help him get clear on where he was trying to go and help him get there. I loved that work. It really lit me up and it brought a lot of passion. And as time went on, I realized that that was where I needed to go. That was the type of work that I needed to do. As I dove into the coaching space head first, I would get on calls with clients and I would see the transformation. I would see the change in their eyes. I would see the aha moment as it clicked and as a major pivot took place in their life. And it was one of the most fulfilling, it still is one of the most fulfilling experiences that I have with the work that I do. The problem was I still own this lawn care company. And so I would get off of those calls, these incredible transformational calls. And the very next call that I would get on would be about someone being mad about their bushes. And I couldn't do it. It was not okay. It was not a fit. I wasn't being fair to the people on my team and to my customers because I cared so little about that type of problem. And I was doing everybody a disservice. And I was doing myself a disservice because I didn't enjoy what I was doing. And it wasn't getting me towards where I was trying to go. I have a grand vision for how I can help people, how I can help change the world, how I can help improve the perspective of individuals by helping them reach the next level. That is what I care about doing. Lawn care had no part in that whatsoever. I had to pivot away from that. Now, by the typical explanation, I quit, I pivoted, I moved off of what I was doing. I started by just handing off more and more work and delegating more of the responsibility of what I was doing so that I didn't have to deal with it. But that still wasn't enough. It still was pulling me away from the vision that I was focused on. I had a vision that very clearly had me going down this path, working with individuals, working with groups, working with organizations, and helping to improve their lives. I wasn't doing that in the lawn care company. As I handed off more work, I still felt pulled in the wrong direction. it still felt like it was an anchor that was weighing me down, both mentally, emotionally, with my time, and with my money. It just wasn't going well altogether. And I could have stuck with it in a way that would have eventually led to more financial success. It could have been a passive business on the side if I put in enough effort and time to grow it the way that I could. That would have been my version of sticking it out, pushing through, grinding through, getting to the other side. And then success would have been a business that is profitable, a business that runs without me, something that a lot of people want. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, that wasn't the right thing. All of the work that I would have to do to get there was going to pull me away from my vision. That was, if I'm going to California, that was going to take me to the UK. And that's not on the way to California at all. So I had to shut it down. I had to pivot. I sold the business, and it was one of the best things that happened to me. Ever since then, I have a mental weight that is lifted. I now am unencumbered as I run towards my actual vision, my actual goal. Now I can dive into the weeds and the things that I am doing. I have blind spots in my business, in my coaching business, that I didn't know about before because I didn't spend enough time in it, because I was distracted by the other thing. But I had to quit. And quitting was really hard. Quitting was really hard because it meant telling the guys on my team that I cared about that we weren't going to do this anymore. It meant trying to find someone that was going to take things over. It meant taking a financial hit in letting go of it. It meant a lot of things that were not great. I didn't feel great about the process of telling a guy on my team that I really, truly cared about that I wasn't going to be able to pay him anymore because I was selling the business. And I didn't know if he was going to want to stay on with the next person or if the other guy was even going to want to keep him. And these were conversations that didn't feel good. They weren't, in a lot of ways, and in an older version of me, they would have stopped me from making this decision. And in some ways, they kept me stuck in the lawn care company longer than I should have. The clarity of where I was going and how this was not getting me there made it very clear that I needed to quit what I was doing. Now, the goal and the hope of this is twofold. One is I want you to learn from my experience. I want you to learn that it is actually okay to quit if you're thinking about it in the right way. I didn't quit the business because it got hard. I quit because it was not the right thing. It was not going to get me where I was trying to go. And the second thing is I want you to think about the things in your life that you are doing and where you're making decisions to stay in because you think quitting is bad. Where are you continuing to do something that you know you don't need to be doing? You know you don't want to be doing. You know is not going to get you closer to where you're trying to go. What are those things? Sometimes it's people in our lives that we need to quit. Sometimes it's activities. Sometimes it's a job. Sometimes it's pieces of our job that we need to set boundaries and we need to quit doing certain things. What does that look like? What are some things in your life that you can tweak a little bit? And if you want more personalized help with this is what I do with people. I help them redefine success and redefine and take control of their lives so they're not on autopilot doing what everybody else wants them to do. I'm going to share more and more of these stories over the next few weeks. Some of them are going to be business stories about things that I had to quit. One in particular is going to be a personal story about when I was engaged and how I needed to pivot and what that quitting looked like and how hard and painful that was. It's not easy. It doesn't always mean it's going to be easy. But here's me giving you permission, if you need it, to quit something that's not serving you. Figure out what serves you, figure out where you're going, and move on from the things that aren't helping you get there. Again, click that subscribe button so you can see the next videos when they come out, especially as I talk about these next few topics. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'd love to hear if there's something that you think you do need to quit, or if you totally disagree with me and quitting is never an option. I'll see you next week.